Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. I'm Steven Silver, character designer and teacher, dedicated to helping you learn about the art industry and living up to your potential. Whippy! Welcome. So last week I talked about just the pleasure of drawing, just having fun with drawing and why drawing can be fun. This week I want to talk about what happens when you don't feel like drawing, when all of a sudden you're just at your drawing board or you haven't even made it there yet to your computer screen or whatever it is that you draw on, you're just not mentally feeling it. And that happens. It just happened to me last week. Again, what I do realize is that it always goes in spurts. It's never a continuous thing. If it is a continuous thing where you never feel like drawing, ever have the desire, I don't know that I could advise you on anything like that just because I've never gone through that experience. So it wouldn't be necessarily the right thing for me to say this is what exactly you need to do because I haven't done it, but maybe what can help you is just to have an understanding of what it means to go through it for a few days at a time. You know, it could be one, could be a full day, could be a few hours. Sometimes that's what happens where it just might be at that time of day in the morning. I'm not necessarily feeling it in the afternoon, in the evening. But all I know is the feeling for me is where I'm coming to my drawing board. I know that I have a design or something I'm working on that I want to draw, or it might even be my own personal project. And I just get to that place and I'm just sitting there and I'm just, with inside me, I just don't feel it. I just feel like, you know, your arm almost just goes into just like this relaxed kind of state where I'm just moving around. It's almost like I'm drawing in these circular patterns. I'm seeing just what might develop, and through that I'm realizing that I'm just not feeling it. So what do you do? What are you supposed to do at that moment? The thing that I've found has been effective for me, number one, is knowing that I'm not going to draw right now, that at this moment I'm just not feeling it. I know that whatever I put out isn't necessarily going to be the best result or what it can be, or that idea isn't gonna spawn. I know it's not gonna maybe be imaginative. I'm not gonna add an element that could be creative. It's just drawing for drawing's sake. Now this can happen quite often when you're working on productions or you're working on assignments that you've been given that you just might not be that passionate about. Otherwise you might even be working in the studio system and you received a script or a job from the client and you're just like, oh man, that's just not going to be fun to draw. I just don't want to work on it. I know for me, one thing that was always like that was whenever I had to draw a crowd scene for, especially on Danny Phantom, because there were so many of them, where I was just like, oh God, I just couldn't get into it. I was just like, oh, this is just, because this work is just going to be monotonous. And I also knew the end result is when it was on screen, it was going to be on screen for not even a second or two. And it's just like, all that work is just for what? You know, and that was the mindset where I just kind of got frustrated with it. But as I'm working on my own stuff, again, I'm not feeling it. I know the thing that I have to do is just simply just walk away. That's all I could do. I'd just be like, you know what? I'm not. It is as simple as that. It's just the reality is I'm just not feeling this right now. I'm not into it. I'm just going to go into my house and I'm going to go watch TV, or I'm going to do something different. I may even start reading a book. And then I'll start reading the book and realize, oh, my mind, I'm not really into reading a book right now. And what I realize is that my mind needs some silence too. That my mind needs to calm down. And for all of you guys know as artists out there, creative types, your mind never stops going. We all have this sort of like inner voice in our head that is constantly going. It's in motion. It's constantly telling us. It's constantly advising us. It's constantly fooling us at times, telling us what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, how we should be thinking, how we shouldn't be thinking, what's right, what's wrong. And all these things are going on internally and externally things are just like, you know, if I can shut off that switch and shut off my mind externally, I could just kind of sit down and I'm just going to plump on the couch and drink some coffee or something and watch TV and maybe flip on a show on the TV things and on the station, whatever it is, whatever your choice of platform you're watching, and watch a movie and zone out. And I realize it's the same sort of thing that happens when I am, say, like flipping through a Hulu or a Netflix, and I'm going and I'm just trying to find, what do I want to watch? What can my mind tolerate right now? Is my mind in the mindset of like, I want to hear something educational? So maybe I want to go to the documentaries and start doing that. And I flip through that, but nothing's resonating. There's not anything that I feel like, I don't know that I want to be preached to right now, or I don't know that I want to hear something about that aspect of the universe or that aspect of someone's life or business. I'm not into, you know, again, we feel it, right? You've all gone through that. And it's the same thing when you're watching movies, flipping through the movie. Am I feeling like an action adventure right now? Am I feeling like I want to watch a drama? Am I feeling like I want to watch a comedy? Where's my mindset at? And that's what's going to determine whether you want to see that movie or not. So it's the same thing that happens in the drawing level and on a drawing day, creative day, where you just feel like, some days I might feel like an exaggeration day, where my mind is, I just want to push and stretch and warp this to the best of my ability. And the next day I'm like, I have no desire to do that. I'm just not feeling that in my bones and in my blood. And so you don't do it. And that's where the walking away, or not forcing yourself to do things that you know are going to be things that are potentially just going to drain you. And every day is different. Same days when you could wake up and you're feeling a little bit more depressed than usual. Why am I feeling so down today? Why am I feeling just this low energy? And what I've learned more than anything is the acceptance. And what I've learned anything beyond that is surrender. Because that's my favorite word in the world. And that's what it really is just know that this is happening, and to allow yourself to know that this is happening, and this is it. Because you can resist it, you can fight it, and you can try to punch back and do everything that you want. Does it mean that you're going to get greater results? Not necessarily, but sometimes you can. You never know. You know, you push yourself so hard that all of a sudden you end up getting a better result than you even expected in the first place. That can happen too in a frustrative state. So it's worth, again, the reality is you just know you. You know who you are. You know what you can tolerate. You know what days you go through. But all I can offer for myself and advice to you is it's okay to allow yourself, to give yourself the permission to walk away from that moment of drawing. Hopefully you don't have a crazy deadline where you're like, man, I am not feeling like drawing at all, or painting, or doing whatever I have to do, but this is due by 5 o'clock today. That's a tough predicament to be in. And those are the things that you have to force yourself through. Those are the things where you just got to snap out of it. But I also do realize sometimes by just going into this unconscious state of drawing, where there's no rhyme, there's no reason, I'm just going to move my hand around and see what it leads into. And it turns into this sort of unconscious doodling and this unconscious state that you can end up getting result from that, and you can allow that to happen. But again, this could be with anything. Do I feel like doing an art talk today? Do I feel like some days I don't? And there's days where I know I want to do my art talk, but I'm just not feeling the energy within inside. I'm not feeling that vibe. So those are the things that I'm not going to do, that I can't force it. Because if I was trying to force something like that, my probably art talk would just kind of be like this, and I don't know, and it would be doubtful, and it wouldn't go anywhere, and it wouldn't do any service, and it wouldn't help anyone. It wouldn't even help me. Because like I've talked to you guys too, a lot of this, why I do these art talks, is it's a therapeutic thing for me too, to almost just get stuff off of your chest. You know, have you ever written stuff where you're responding to someone? It could even be on Facebook or something, where you see something and you're going to react to it. You start writing and all of a sudden you go, no, I don't need to share that. I don't need to write that, and you delete it. But it felt good that you at least got it out, that you've written that, or you write a letter, you write something that I'm going to write this to that person and respond that way. And then you just don't end up doing it because you realize it was in the heat of the moment. I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really thinking that. I need to pull back and look. And that's kind of what it is, that it's important just to have that sort of reflection, just to pull back from time to time, that it's okay. If you're not feeling it, just don't do it. Just don't do it. And maybe you put yourself in a place where, you know what, I'm just more open to listening right now. I'm not open to participating. I don't actually have to take an action and do something, but just to hear something might help me get me through this. But it's okay to walk away, look at art books, maybe do something completely different, get out in the fresh air. That's always a good thing, as long as you got some good weather around you. And most importantly, just to always work on your own projects. That's always the big thing. This is a time to do it if you're not accustomed to being at home a lot and you don't find yourself having a lot of free time. This is the time to really be developing and working on your own projects, developing your own things. And you're still going to go through that phase too, even if it's your own project. I'm not saying just because you have your own project that you're not going to feel like you're going to get those days where you don't feel like drawing. It's going to happen with that too, where you just got to work through it. But I do find at certain times when I just start, I can start to build that momentum. And I think that's important. I think that's why, going back to when I start doing those unconscious doodling, I know that if it's going to lead to something and an energy of me wanting to continue, otherwise it's going to lead to me wanting just to say, no, I'm just going to pull back for now. And that's okay, all right? But you find your own voice. It's in there. Just don't let that voice in your head completely control your life, with especially all the self-doubt or anything else that may be going on, all right? So thanks for watching. Make it a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy. Do what you got to do. Social distance. You know what to do. You know the right thing to do. Work on your own projects. Enjoy this time. Keep learning. Keep benefiting. And wherever you can, just grow. That's what you can do. All right. Thanks for watching. Make it a great week. Take care. To learn more about my Skype mentorships and workshops, please visit silvertoons.com. And if you like, sign up for my mailing list where you'll be notified of any upcoming workshops or events. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next week.